I paid $317 for this Japanese camera from 2011, and I call it my digital disposable. What's going on, people? My name's Kyle, and this is the Ricoh GR Digital IV. If you watched my travel essentials video, you would have heard this spiel already, but this is not the successor to the X100V competitor, the Ricoh GR3. This is actually a predecessor. Ricoh is a Japanese business machine company that started making film cameras back in the mid-90s, their most famous being the GR1. The GR1 was a super compact 35mm film camera that boasted a magnesium alloy body and a high-quality 28mm 2.8 fixed lens. It won the award for Best Compact 35mm Camera in 1997 and was extremely popular with Japanese street photographers because of its compact size and great ergonomics. Ricoh decided to ride this popularity wave into the digital era and released the first GR Digital in 2005. Same form factor, same intuitive control dial locations, and same bulletproof build quality. They iterated 4 times, enlarging the sensor or improving the lens each time, and the 4th is the one that I have. In 2013, Ricoh dropped the digital from the name and replaced the CCD sensor with an APS-C size CMOS sensor, and this is the line that they're currently building upon. So why didn't I buy the newer ones with the updated sensors and the better technology? Well, 3 reasons. First one is the new ones are extremely expensive. A GR2 is like $800 and a GR3X is like $1,100. Not to say that they're not worth it for that much money, but you could do a lot with that kind of money. The second reason is because I wanted an onboard flash. For some reason, when they updated the cameras to the APS-C size sensors, they got rid of the pop-up flash. Maybe because they needed more processing power, or maybe the sensor took up too much space within the body. I'm not sure, but whatever the reason, they got rid of it. And that was something that I really wanted in the point and shoot. Correction, they actually didn't remove the onboard flash until the 3rd generation of the new GR series. So the first 2 iterations still have it, but those 2 are still very expensive. And third, I already have a camera that can pretty much do what these newer cameras can do. My A7C takes amazing 24 megapixel photos, and I just don't need another camera to do that. I can slap a 28mm on here and get images similar to, if not even better, than the ones that these newer versions of the Ricoh can do. I wanted something different, something technically worse, but something more fun to use. So in 2021, I bought the 10-year-old Digital IV, and I haven't looked back since. Now let's talk about the camera itself. It's only 10 megapixels, it can only write to cards less than 32 gigabytes in size, and images at past 1600 ISO are extremely noisy, but the experience of using it is like nothing else I've ever used. And a big part of that is the ergonomics. The dial and button layout is perfectly set up for one-handed shooting. Not only can I go into and fully navigate the menus with one hand, but I can also hit every single button and dial without even having to readjust my grip. Everything about the user experience of this camera is just so satisfying, it makes you never want to put it down. But when you do, and you take a second to look at the images that it produces, they're incredible. The 28mm lens is still pretty sharp for how old it is, and in my opinion is the perfect focal length for a camera like this. In a point and shoot, I'm not necessarily looking for the most background compression or bokeh. I just wanted something that's wide enough to capture what I'm seeing around me. And with 28 being right in between the ultra-wide 24 and the wide 35, I think it's perfect. The 1.9 aperture is also nice for low light situations. It can only do so much with the small sensor, but for what it is, I think it does a great job. Plus, we still have the built-in flash to fill in for any lack of light in any given situation. But I'm honestly not pressed about sharpness at all. I'll either be using the straight out of camera black and white JPEGs or editing the raw files to make them look like disposable cameras anyway, so I'll be adding a bunch of grain and blur, and sharpness just doesn't matter in this case. The last thing I'll talk about with this camera is a feature called snap focusing. This is a mode within the autofocus settings where you can set a predetermined distance for your camera to focus to just before you take a photo. So while you still have the ability to half press the shutter and use the camera's hybrid contrast-based / external sensor autofocus, you also have the option to just press all the way down on the shutter button and the camera will focus and shoot pretty much at the same time. It takes some getting used to, but once you understand the distances, it makes getting quick shots really, really easy. And that's kind of the thing with this camera, it just makes things easy. It dumbs down the process of shooting while still giving you access to the more complex settings of a more expensive camera. It hits the sweet spot of image quality in between the beginning of the digital era and the technically perfect sensors of today. And it uses modern technologies while still giving you the vintage feel of an old point and shoot. It is the perfect digital disposable camera. Let me know what you guys think of this thing down in the comments, whether you would go with this over something like a Fuji X-Z4 or a X100V or even the newer GRs. Leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs down twice if you didn't, subscribe for more content from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.